Hello, welcome in all you DPC rebels and resistant fighters. DrShane is back with another Friday 5-minute magic tip. Hope you guys are looking forward to a great weekend. Looking some fun, some family hangout time, and just to chill and rest, man. Rest your bones. Today, we're talking about the primary care death spiral, but I got a question right off the bat. Did you guys see the residency match results from last week? Pretty sure it was last week when it came out. It's been all over social media, people talking about matching and people talking about who matched and who didn't match and the numbers. Primary care had another poor performance, depending on how you want to look at that. Certainly, half of all the slots are filled up by primary care, but the unfilled slots, a generous portion of the unfilled slots also was in primary care. So there were 2,862 unfilled spots before the SOAP, what we used to call the scramble back in my day, because you had to scramble and find a position, now called SOAP. 2,862 unfilled spots, and 57% of those unfilled spots were in primary care. That equals out to 1,636 unfilled spots in 3 primary care positions. Family medicine, peds, internal medicine accounted for 57% of the unfilled spots. Not very happy about that. Doesn't sound too great. Family medicine had 899 unfilled, internal medicine 554, peds 190. So even though primary care accounts for 47% of the total match spots over 20,000, they had the most unfilled spots as a group, primary care. It's kind of frustrating. There's less and less interest, it seems, in primary care. The 5-year trend is not good either. It continues to trend down. Those numbers, those percentages of unfilled are getting worse every year. Family medicine fill rate keeps dropping, even though we're adding new positions in family medicine. We had more positions available this year, or we had more people not take those positions. So primary care, it's safe to say, is in what pilots call the death spiral. In a death spiral, a pilot loses their position. Their brain's telling them they're in a certain position. They think they're in a turn. They think they know where the horizon is. Their ears aren't getting them right. Their balance is off. Their vision's off. They're not reading their instruments. And they begin this death spiral. And we're seeing that in primary care more and more now. We've lost our positions. We don't know where the horizon is. We don't know what we're doing. And we get ourselves out of position. And fewer students are choosing primary care jobs overall, which is frustrating for sure. So in this death spiral, in the healthcare death spiral, primary care, we see less time with patients, less access, less care, more utilization, things like urgent care, ER referrals, specialist referrals. There's more pressure on the system in general and less relevance for primary care overall. So we're seeing this spiral out of control in our healthcare system even as we speak. So how does a pilot pull out of a death spiral? How do they fix that spiral? Well, they have to look at their instruments and regain their wings. They have to level out their wings so they know where the position is. Don't think about your brain is telling you, look at your instruments and level out your wings, is the way a pilot pulls out of that. So how do we level our wings and pull out of a death spiral in primary care? Well, I'm going to talk about direct primary care as one of the huge answers to that. We've said direct primary care is an answer for a long time. And why is that? Because it reverses a lot of the problems that you see with this death spiral in healthcare and primary care. Direct primary care can increase time with patients, more access for patients, less utilization on the system, ERs, urgent cares, things that hospitals want more and more of, but we're pulling people out of that utilization, less referrals. So less pressure on the system. It's more sustainable, better for the patients. So it provides more relevance overall to primary care, and DPC docs can have more passion, more autonomy, find their purpose, and really guide patients through the system. So the direct primary care can pull people out of that death spiral. We just got to teach the students about direct primary care. So I encourage you to spend time with the students. If you have a med school near you, if you can get in to speak to them, have them come to your clinic, experience direct primary care firsthand, so they can know that primary care can be a winning proposition for everybody, for the physician, the patient, and the community. We need to teach the students how to avoid that death spiral and correct, level their wings, and think about primary care as a winning proposition and not a death spiral. Let's teach them how to pull out of that. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Get out there and spread the DPC love, the DPC magic, and have a great weekend. Until then, you guys keep up the DPC magic.